Hi, Blade Angel here, and this will be the first video in a new series I'm starting called Supercars That Couldn't Be. In this series, I'm going to discuss a whole bunch of supercars that I thought were really cool that never made it into production. So this first supercar that I'll be discussing in this series will be the Chrysler Me 412. Me 412, the name, is inspired by the car's layout, standing for a mid-engine, 4-turbo, 12-cylinder car. The car was meant to go into production around 2004. Because it was designed under Daimler, who at the time owned Mercedes-Benz and Chrysler, the car does have a modified 6-liter Mercedes-Benz 120 quad-turbo V12. Now, it had a horsepower output of 850 and a torque output of 850 foot-pounds. To put that into perspective, a Lamborghini Aventador Super Veloce from 2016 puts a naturally aspirated 740 horsepower. So 850 is a very healthy figure, and at the time of 2004, it's mighty impressive. But we've definitely come a long way in regards to engineering. The drivetrain of the car is rear-wheel drive, and it does have a 7-speed transmission, which is a Ricardo-built semi-automatic. Now, the semi-automatic is basically just a manual sequential or a paddle shift, which I believe at the time in 2004, a lot of people refer to it as semi-automatic, but nowadays it's much more well known as paddle shift or manual sequential. The car weighs 2,888 pounds or 1,310 kilograms. It has a top speed of 248 miles an hour or 399 kilometers an hour. It also has a 0 to 60 time of 2.9 seconds. Now, the top speed and 0 to 60 time are both claimed, as the car was never officially able to test those. Now, next I'm going to play a sound clip.
Big time.
Oh, they had this.
You're gonna start it up now.
Okay.
It's a running mule.
I read about the motor before they put it in the car.
I like the sound. I think it sounds really aggressive and mean, and I'm definitely a fan of the way the quad exhaust also looks on the car. However, the overall design of the back, I'm not a fan of. It does remind me of bug eyes because it has all those scattered LEDs, and it looks like a whole bunch of separate small little bug eyes staring at you, and I just really don't. It's just really creepy to me. The front of the car also is kind of uninspired. It's nothing really great to me, and I'm not really a fan of it. It's kind of bland. Now, that simplicity, I can see how some people do like it, so I'm not saying the car is ugly. I can definitely see how it appeals to some people. And the overall wide stance of the car, I'm definitely a fan of. It looks really cool, and that really wide stance really cements that supercar feel of it, and I think that was a really good decision by Chrysler when designing it. The interior of the car is rather simple too, which does fit the car's theme, and definitely not too bad actually. I mean, in a supercar, you're not buying it for the interior, and I definitely do think that it matches what the car is on the outside. The car was projected to cost around $250,000 if it were to make it into production, which I would find rather cheap, definitely for what it's producing or the power outputs. That's a rather cheap price, even with inflation considered. So I know, like, nowadays, that's actually really cheap. So I wonder how Chrysler was going to make profit off making a car like that. Not that most supercar companies plan on making a profit. This car was featured in a few games, such as Midnight Club 3 Dub Edition and in Asphalt 8. What's interesting is the car's stats in Asphalt 8 are rather random, so here let's take a look at it. The 0 to 60 time is 3 seconds, and its top speed is 241.2 miles an hour. The top speed is oddly specific, in my opinion. I don't know how GameLoft came up with those numbers, especially since its claimed top speed is 248 miles an hour and its claimed 0 to 60 is 2.9 seconds. I don't know why GameLoft chose those numbers. They definitely don't have access to Me 412, or maybe they do. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe they tested it, whatever. But that's the car's stats. Regardless, I hope you enjoyed watching this video, and honestly, I'm definitely going to continue the series and maybe other supercar series. If that's something you like, look forward to it, and feel free to subscribe. Other than that, thank you for watching.